Well, there's kind of a lot going on with gaming news today, mainly multiverses. A lot of people are talking about this. They just announced yesterday that yes, this is going to be the final end to that game. That's kind of everywhere right now. A lot of people are talking about it. Obviously, it's definitely a pretty big deal. It's not a very good thing, obviously. But while that's catching a lot of attention, this is actually something that was kind of buried in the gaming news that I have seen today. This is something pretty positive instead of pretty negative, and I like that. And not just that, but I would say it's a pretty big deal, and it happened at pretty much the exact same time that this multiverses announcement happened. So it is pretty crazy that it is kind of getting buried right now, but nonetheless, this comes from the company that you definitely know called Konami. It's funny, I kind of forget about them a lot, and that's really dumb of me because they are responsible for a ton of big IPs, mainly Metal Gear Solid and Silent Hill. Now, Silent Hill had a very big release in October. Yeah, just 4 months ago, they had Silent Hill 2 come out. This was the remake of Silent Hill 2. And it would seem that it did quite well. It had sold 1 million copies in just 4 days, and as of about a week ago now, it has now sold 2 million copies. So how did this affect their finances? Well, they just released a financial report yesterday that basically broke down their overall finances from the first 3 quarters now of their fiscal year. So this is specifically in kind of the last 9 months from April to December of last year. Now, in the financial report from 3 months ago, they were already reporting record-breaking sales, but this financial report shows that they did not slow down at all in the past 3 months. Konami is doing extremely well, so specifically in the last 9 months, their net profit in US dollars was a little over 400 million. Now, mind you, they are worth about 12 billion US dollars. Now, I know that's quite a bit, but still, I would say 400 million US dollars is still quite a big chunk of that. So this net profit compared to this time last year is up 41%. And in the breakdown of specifically why they had all of this success, kind of bringing it back to Silent Hill 2 again, yeah, they definitely credited a lot of this to that game along with some sports games as well. And it also looks like they had a Metal Gear Solid game that sold well and a Yu-Gi-Oh game. I have to say too, they break down a lot of their business ventures that they do and kind of the revenue that they got from each of those ventures. And Konami is kind of invested in a lot of different things that I didn't really know. Besides their games, they are also invested in something they are referring to as amusement. I don't know if that's kind of a translation error, but essentially it kind of sounds like that's more of like series, TV shows, movies. They're also invested in sports, like not specifically sports games, but like sports in general. They have these things they are referring to as Konami sports clubs. They are physical locations in Japan. It kind of sounds interesting, I'm not gonna lie. Hey, overall, I just think this is great. We hear a lot about AAA flops in recent years, and with something as big as a Silent Hill 2 remake, you know, it was something that was definitely set up for failure. Definitely not for Konami specifically, but, you know, again, just kind of in the environment that it seems that we are in. If you would have asked me, you know, maybe a year ago how it's going to do, I would say probably not well, but clearly I was proven wrong, and clearly Konami is very much going about a strategy that is just working for them, and I would assume it's going to continue to work for them.